good to see everyone coming in. Everyone's a bit happier now they've got their cups of coffee. It all went a little bit flat earlier, people were going like that, and then Nick woke you up, which is fantastic. Our next presenter on stage is also somebody who's been around for a little while but doesn't look about it as much as I do. He's one of the things I like about it, the fact he's one of the early birds in fintech space. So he's going to be sharing with us tools, techniques, insights, and things that he's learned from the very beginning. And I'm sure you want to make some notes, even if they're digital notes. I don't think people use notebooks anymore. So next on stage, sharing a VC perspective of investing in transformation to Web3. And he promises not to tell you that story he just told me earlier about the... Put your hands together for the co-founder of XVC Tech. Put your hands together for Johan Lundberg. Go on, give it up. Clap, clap, clap. We'll put the music up instead. Cheers, Johan.
Nice. Thank you for
Phil.
the introduction. I guess the crowd here has enough money, so they don't need VC money for funding, right? So first of all, thank you very much for having me on stage. I will not have any slides on the back. You will see me in double perspective. My name is Johan Lundberg, and I'm one of the co-founders of XVC Tech. And XVC Tech is a pure investment company that focuses on next-generation technology, such as AI, blockchain, Web3. We see it in a combination. We love transformation cases, which is quite obvious due to the fact that that's what I'm going to talk about. We have approximately $125 million to invest. We have only done 4 investments so far, so we're just in the beginning of this flow. We are Dubai-based, so we are based in the AFC, so that's where we have the office. And also important to notice is that we invest cash. So we are a cash investor, which is not really often the case in Web3, right? But we do invest in hardcore fiat cash. That is what we like. Please interrupt me if you have any questions or if there is anything that you would like me to discuss further. So please interrupt me if you have questions. What we see now is a quite large change in terms of the internet development. We are entering into the Web3 perspective, which you more or less all are aware of. We can also see that the change goes quite fast, and that is also something that we see in the pipeline of the companies that we receive and that we look into. And of course, it's a change of power, which is quite dramatic when you look at the cases in Web 2 compared to cases in Web 3. If you look at it from the change of power, you could see that we are going from the platform perspectives, like the big ones, like Apple, Google, what could it be, Amazon, Spotify, and others, where the platform owns the information, they control you as a user, they also control you as a creator. We see that change is quite rapidly, and a lot of things are happening into that space. We also see that where we will have the largest change is probably, or most likely, in the boring cases, such as insurances, agreement handling, trade finance, iGaming, of course. That's not maybe boring, but that's also one of the largest changes that we will see in terms of Web 2 and transformation. But what I like most is actually that Web 3 enables us to change the focus from the platform owners to the creators and the users. And that's where we see the opportunities coming. Because why shouldn't the one who actually creates the content compared to the one who actually uses the content, they are the one that should have the power, right? They are the one who should make the money and make the decisions on what they would like to do. And of course, us as an investor, we would like to benefit on that journey as well, of course, which I think is a quite given, otherwise we wouldn't invest. So we see that kind of revenue streams changes that is coming up will be quite rapidly. That's also why we believe that the Web 3 transformation from Web 2 to Web 3 will be much faster than the transformation from Web 1 to Web 2. Because it's always money that steers the direction, and as long as the creators can make more money, they would like to steer it quicker into the development and platforms of next generation. What we see also is that, of course, the transformation journey has just started, and we see that it has started because of the development of the blockchains of the world. We see that kind of technology has enabled us to take the step from one side of the room to the other. That is also what makes this a very interesting journey, especially if you think about the old cases, companies that works perfectly in a Web 2 world, and you transform them into the world of Web 3. You're actually using the benefits of AI, blockchain, crypto, stablecoins, whatever it might be, all the new technologies, and you bring them into the world of the Web 2s. And you see what kind of efficiencies that could increase, how much faster it can go, how much securer the solutions could be, and of course, the transparency issue, which is massively positive, I think, in the world of Web 3. So we see that is a huge change. We can also see, if we go back to where we are, if I take iGaming as an example, I'm the chairman of a company called Betsson, which is one of Europe's largest betting and casino companies, as well as Latin America. What we see now, when we compare the solutions of today in Web3 compared to actually 99, you could see huge similarities. Because the shift of technology in the iGaming space, for instance, is as big as when we went from Web 1 to Web 2. That is the change that we see now as well, from Web 2 to Web 3. But the difference here is that this time it will be much, much faster. We will see higher speed of transformation, and we will also see higher speed of efficiency in terms of this transformation journey, which I'm looking forward to a lot. But you can actually compare it very much to the shift of technology that happened 99, 2000, so more or less 25 years ago. Many of you in the room were not even born at that point. I was, and I saw it. Even that he said that I look young, but I'm not that young. What we also see is that will be the drive. And we also said that this focus, the speed, we can also see the speed and the focus that this region has taken in the Web3 transformation, which I think is very impressive. What has been decided here is to push it and drive it and take advantage of that development, which is actually happening right now. What we then look into, what I think is the most interesting aspects of this, is not the new technology companies as such. I prefer actually to look on the proven cases that we have seen has worked, that is working, as I said before, in the Web 2 environment, and I would love to see more of those taking the step over to the Web 3 environment part. And if we can see that, then we have a very, very interesting opportunity, and I would love to look into more of those cases. So proven concept that has worked. In my country, we say that, why do you need to cross the river for water? And that is actually very valid in this point as well. See what's working in the Web 2 arena, and then add the Web 3 aspects of that, and the technology of the Web 3, and see what comes out on the other side. If you can identify that, you will be a very rich man or a woman, probably one of the richest. And you should do it, of course, together with me. that is something I would like. A question from the audience. The question was, where do I see the biggest opportunities right now? Especially because this is a tech transformation journey, and often when we see large shifts in technology, there are certain industries that drives and push that. So I would say that the most interesting industry from my perspective right now is the iGaming side. Because iGaming and gaming companies are the one, among a couple of others, which I will not mention here, is the one that actually push large technology shifts. So that was a very relevant question. So I believe that we have a very good... we should support that industry to push the technology, because if they push the technology, we will say that other will come along. We actually have investments in the iGaming space as well, I should mention. So the proven models, the proven concept, update them for the future, use the technology of the future, and then roll it out. Because the thing is that the customer experience will more or less be the same. So the customers will not really notice right now that we do this transformation change. But you as a company, CEO, entrepreneur, owner, investor, you will see it, especially in terms of the result of the development, and of course the speed of the development of the company. But you need also to be quite open-minded as a CEO if you want to do this transformation and this change and push this development. And what happens if you don't do this? That is a question that that I don't want to actually answer, because if you don't push this development, if you don't capture these opportunities of the Web3 opportunities and take that into your existing and proven concepts, you're out of business. And it will be quite quick. You will notice it more or less in the terms that it will be, you will fade away more than anything else in this perspective, right? So I wouldn't like to go that route. I would like to take those opportunities, capture it, be open-minded, and don't be afraid of the new things. See the opportunities and capture them. And what are we looking for? It's a lot of this has been said before during this presentation, but I would say that we think that boring cases are quite interesting, because boring cases are cases which less people will look into. You know that they're proven, you know that they're working, and you know that you can actually do something with them by adding the new technology part. And when I say boring cases, no offense if you work in the insurance industry, but for me, insurance industry is pretty boring, but I love it. I love it. And if you can capture the beauty of the blockchain into the insurance industry, you're in a very, very good position. And you created something that no one else has done before. So that is something that I think that would be very, very interesting to look into. Front runners in terms of technology is also another part that I find interesting. iGaming was mentioned. But of course, it also needs to be a passionate entrepreneur or CEO that drives and pushes this opportunity. Because if you're not that, you will never capture the future, right? And you will not be able to take that opportunity. When we also go in and do investments in our cases, we try to be quite close from a strategic perspective, because we see different kind of industries, different kind of perspectives that we would like to push towards our investments as well. And that's also something that we try to work quite hard with and try to figure out how that should be done. Because a lot of the cases in the Web3, even if it's a transformation case, it hasn't been done before. And we're using new technology, which means that you need to be very, very humble from an investor perspective as well to be able to push it right and develop that and take advantage of it. Any more questions? I see that yeah, please. Yeah, you actually ask if there are gaming studios that actually make this kind of games and are part of that shift, right? Yes, we are actually having one company here today, which is called The Gaming, which is a platform that is in between operators and creators. So the creator goes into the gaming platform, they develop their game, the gaming publish it towards the operators, and the creator gets the revenues, not the gaming studios as such. So you became a game developer, you get all the revenues yourself, and not Evolution Gaming, which is one of the largest ones today. So those platforms are there. We have one of those, and it's actually launched today. So it's you see how fresh it is, right? But that will actually change the whole dynamics of the gaming industry, especially for the operators, because you can easily become an operator, you can easily become a game developer, and you all make more money in terms of that, and of course us a little bit. Sorry. Oh, the banks, they could benefit heavily. If you look, for instance, on trade finance, there you have huge benefits for the banks in terms of documentation, in terms of transactions, and in terms of tracking the information that you have. So by using the new technology, you can actually apply a lot of different aspects on that. If you look on credit decisions, that's actually AI-based, but not in the AI we see now, but it's based on previous information that they have massaged and put out in their system and create some kind of credit score, right? So that is AI, but today you can do more. I would also say that if you look into the stable coin system and structure, you could probably transfer money faster, quicker, and more easier across the globe, especially from countries which might be a hurdle for different reasons. So there you also have a benefit from that. I believe that if I would be Visa and MasterCard, my last real work before I became or running my own companies was at MasterCard. I would be slightly afraid, because the rails that they are having could be challenged by the blockchains of the world and stable coins and other kind of methods. And we see that already happening. So yeah, big change for the banks as well. Thank you. So yeah, please take.
So, what stage of companies do you invest in, and what requirements do you see in the company before investing?
That's a very relevant question. We invest both early stage. We have invested in more or less PowerPoint presentations that we have identified as extremely interesting, but there we take also like quite a large part of the development of that process until they launch and so on. But we, as I said before, we love cases which is transformation. So if you have a company, let's say you operated 2-3 years, you have a customer base, it's working in the Web2 part, I would love it. If it's globally scalable, I would love you even more. So yeah, those are the things. So if you have that, we can speak later. Any more questions? It's fun with questions. Yeah, but I have run out of time as well. So I think that I should say thank you very much, and thanks for listening.